Fáilte chuig Evolving Harps, a podcast series brought to you by Cruit Éireann, Harp Ireland. This is your host, Niamh O'Brien. In this series, we follow the musical journeys of some of our best known Irish harpers. Over the coming episodes, we will discover the unique versatility of the Irish harp and hear from harpers pushing the boundaries of our almost 1,000-year-old harping tradition. Sna gran seo tá méid labhairt le Brídín, Cruitere Éireann agus Commodore. We started our conversation in the music room of her home in County Sligo.
Yeah, this is a big session room, this one, yeah. So like guitars, piano, everything. We were very lucky to grow up in a house where if you wanted to play an instrument, you just go in here and pick it up. There's such lovely memories, and like we'd all like be changing around different instruments and stuff. But my mum was very free with us like that. She wanted us to play instruments that we loved, and there are certain instruments that you're just like drawn to, and yeah, I just know I'm very lucky that I've had that.
When did you get drawn to the harp?
When late enough, actually, I was about 14, and I had played the piano from when I was like 4, and tin whistle and flute. And I remember hearing Leisha Kelly at a concert in Riverstown or somewhere, and I was just like, oh my God, I love that so much. And I was saying it to Mum, and she was like, okay, let's have a think about it now, like, because, we might need a new car. And but after a while she was like, okay, yeah, she's obsessed. So my granddad Jerry and my mum as well, he was like, go on, send her up. So she rang around a few people, and I was so lucky. Gráinne Hambly took me on, and she let me use one of her harps there for a while, and then I came back and I was just like obsessed. Like I just couldn't come away from it. And like I always loved music and playing music, but I never loved it as much as when I play the harp. It's just, it clicks, like, Upstairs is my bedroom, and I would have been in junior cert. I was in junior cert when I started, because it was like December of junior cert. And I remember my mum, like during my mock exams and everything, she'd be here with the broom on the thing. She'd hear me playing. She'd be like, study. Like, I was like, I am. She'd just hear this like little harping going on. She'd be like, you need to study your English or your Irish and stuff. I'm like, I just can't help it.
And what was it, do you think, about hearing that sound for the first time that drew you in?
I don't know. It's that director, like, it's pure magic, and it's just it's so fascinating as well, like how it works, and it really does draw you in. And yeah, I just love it. And I love as well the way like Leisha and Gráinne, like they'd play tunes and like class arrangements as well. And it was really cool as well to see like women as well being like playing this powerful instrument and making it deadly, like, yeah.
And tell me about what you did after your leaving cert, or what was the next step in the journey for you?
So when I did my leaving cert, when I was doing the CAO and stuff, I didn't actually know what I wanted to do, like day to day. I didn't know what that job was, and my mum was trying to help me and stuff to figure it out. But I suppose it came down to like, she's like, what do you love? And I was like, I love music. I love the harp. I love music in general. And then I said, do you know what? I'll study music, because that's what I love. And my mum, luckily, I was encouraged to do that. So I went looking at all the different colleges, and I thought UCC was the best fit for me, because it was a total mixed bag of music, and you're learning so much, and as well the strong traditional background there. So I went down, and Mel Mercier was head of department, and honestly I couldn't have asked for a better experience. Just mixing with other musicians from different genres and different styles. Like I went in knowing very little about any other genre really. I knew Britney Spears and I knew the harp. So yeah, it was really, really, really cool. And I think from that experience, from getting to hear other, like to study other instruments, and like, you know, I learned sitar and gamelan and like all these other things that I would never have come across, and like African drumming and everything, and having a great appreciation for other genres and seeing really cool things within them, and then turning it around. And when I write my own music now, I feel like that has definitely helped inspire me, and thinking outside the box, but also like just drawing inspiration from other things, you know.
What's your relationship with traditional music now?
I still feel like traditional Irish music is like deeply in my soul. It is such a big part of me, which is actually why I decided to have Brídín as my name for my contemporary music, because I feel like Bríd McGowan is my birth name, and I feel like with Irish traditional music I'm still very much a big part of it, and I kind of wanted to have that little separation too, you know. So Brídín is the little world that I can do whatever I want and there's no rules. And you know, but I love, oh my God, I love playing sessions, and just a class connection to have with other people, and it's honestly a privilege to have that.
If you're here on your own and the harp is sitting in this room, what kind of draws you just to sit down and play? Is it a particular mood? Or
for people who don't know, I'm a funeral director and embalmer, and that's my day to day, is dealing with bereaved people going through the worst experience of their life, losing a loved one. And you know, you take it on, like, and for me the harp is like a relief. It's it's an emotional outlet for me. So if I've had a really sad, heavy day, I just come home, and honestly, when I play, it just like leaves my body. It's like that horrible feeling. It's really important that I have something to let it out on. So a lot of things I write as well come from that emotional place, and yeah, I think I need one to have the other, to be honest. So for at the minute, my draw to playing the harp, if it's just sitting there and just playing, like, doesn't matter what I'm playing, like I could just be playing chords, I could just be playing, making up little melodies, or just playing tunes or a piece or whatever, and it really helps me relax and deal with things.
So we're heading out the back of your house now, Bríd, towards another little building. What's this place?
My secret little getaway. This is just out in the shed. My mum built this studio years ago, and it's my little den. Come in here. Let's go to Dad's office first. That's the other thing too, like if one cable is dodgy, you don't know which one it is. It's all like, you just have to try every single one, and if there's a little buzz, you know.
Okay, so tell me what we're doing here, Bríd. There's lots of cables and boxes and microphones. What are all these things?
So this is my pedal board. So I have my loop pedal on here. I have my delay pedal. I have a reverb pedal for my vocals. Anyway.
When did you first start playing with these machines?
So I started this in the year of my master's. I loved arranging music, and I started on GarageBand on my laptop, doing different layers and stuff. And like I really wanted a loop pedal, like, but so I was saving up money for it, and then at Christmas time, I got it, and yeah, it's been amazing. I love writing with it. I feel like it just sucks you in, like, and I just love all the layers and the different things that like there's times when you want to literally throw it out the window, like you're so angry with it when you're at the start getting used to it, because like I don't think people realise like how technical it is. Like you have to, if you don't hit it like exactly on the right beat, the whole thing is it just ruins the whole thing, like which is particularly hard when I have my band with me as well. So like when I'm playing a gig, like the amount of focus that I have on like timing and everything else, and it's just funny, yeah, because my mum always says it to me as well. She's like, I don't think people realise what you're doing with your feet at all. You know, you hear this big sound and it's just me on the stage. Like if I was playing a solo gig, it's just me, but I can make all these layers, and it's just, yeah, it's class. Like, yeah, it's a great tool to have.
And do you see this as like an extension of your instrument now? Is this part of your instrument, do you think?
It would be, I'd say. Like, to be honest, I think it's important not to rely on it too, though, because I, for instance, played a gig there in November, and for some reason, no idea why, but the sound system wasn't able to pick it up. I don't know why. That has literally never happened. But I had to throw my whole set list out the window and just on the spot come up with a new one. So I think it's good that I'm able to do that as well. So yeah, I think it's important not to rely too much on technology as well.
And tell me about the creative process, so working with these machines and with your harp, kind of, you know, what comes first, or where does your process start using these?
So my process starts in voice memos. Mainly I like to write, you know, when ideas come into your head, and like I'd sing a little thing into my head, into my phone, record it. You know, if it was words, I'd sing it along, and then I'd come back to the studio and I just listen back to it, and then it develops. So then I have a starting point, but sometimes I just also just sit down and play and write. It just kind of, I don't know, once you're looping, I think the main thing is to not rush it, you know. So like I'll like come up with a loop, and then I'll just sit with it for a minute and just kind of like try different things, and then some things don't work, some things do, some things it's like, no, delete that. But that's fine. I think it's allowing yourself the time to sit with it and like really breathe it, like. And
tell me about playing with the band. When did that start?
I recorded my EP, my first EP, and I was like, oh, I'd love to add some percussion and fiddle and stuff like this, and like all of a sudden I had recorded a whole band. So then I was like, oh, I should actually play with the band as well. I love having like a fiddle player with me, or a cellist. Sometimes I'd like to have the three, cello, fiddle and myself. And then as well, Brian Dillon plays keys with me as well, so he does kind of synth stuff as well. And then, you know, depending on the gig, if it's a nice venue, I'll bring drums, because I love when it's all together and like everyone is just so tuned in, and it's like it just works so lovely, and I've like found my tribe, and I just love working with the musicians that I work with, and we have really good respect for each other, and yeah, they're all just really good, like, and I have different people around the place, so like, you know, because I'm conscious of like if I have a show in Cork, I'm not going to ask poor Kevin in Mayo or in Sligo to come down, to mix it up as well. So if you see me playing a show, like, I'm more than likely will have different people with me all the time. So I like that too, because you get someone else's kind of take on it as well. Nice variation, like.
The harp is very often the kind of the accompaniment, or a nice kind of like added bit on top of the band or whatever is going on. What's it like to have the harp at the centre? Because that seems to be the way with your music.
Yeah, it is. So it's like, yeah, they're all, yeah, everyone else is like accompanying the harp. It's different. I love it though, because I feel like when I play with, particularly drummers, tell me, like Luke, who's playing with me now as well, it's like he loves that it's not just like banging out a beat, it's like you're listening for every little note, and they're just so tuned in. It's very different style of drumming as well, so I know that they enjoy that aspect of it, but yeah, I think it just all weaves together really nicely. But that's from playing with so many different people and realising, oh, I really like this. Like, yeah, I think it's cool for the harp, like.
So we've come from, I suppose, talking about tradition and sitting there with just you and the harp inside. And here we're talking about full bands, and we have a whole pedal board in front of us. Where do you think your music sits in terms of like the harping tradition and like more modern sounds?
I don't know. Like, to be honest, I'm just doing my own thing. Like, I just make the music I like, and I'm not trying to change traditions, because I always feel like, why would you want to change the tradition? Like, and somebody has to keep that going strong, which I still feel like I do keep that side going strong as well. But I think it's cool to have this project as well, where I can be so free in what I want to do, and there are no boundaries, there are no rules. You know, it's just what I want, and it's kind of hard to market because it's not exactly something, it's a thing of its own, and it doesn't fit into brackets. But I found from just navigating my career so far that when people do like it, it really, really affects them in a positive way, and I just love that. And I love, like, you know, I love seeing like a kid with their ears perked up being like, that's so cool and different, and I never saw that before. I think it's cool too to see other people who wouldn't like trad, you know, the people that might call it diddly eye, those kind of people, and seeing them being interested in my music, and then that might draw them into looking more into the harp and hearing more harpists and falling down a rabbit hole of harp. So that's cool too, like just like inviting them in the door, and then we'll catch them. This is a song I wrote. It's the opening track of my album, and it's called Hideaway. It's all about when I'm here in my little den. This is my little hideaway, and like nobody can hear me, nobody can come near me. I'm totally here, secluded, and I drift away into my own little world. So this is Hideaway.
Tásúlagam gur bhaid tanamh as an gcórá agus an ceol. You can hear Brídín playing live at the Sugar Club with a full band on January 11th, 2024. See the episode notes for more information. This podcast was brought to you by Cruit Éireann, Harp Ireland, who are supported by the Arts Council and Chorla Alien and the Heritage Council, and was produced and presented by Niamh O'Brien.